Today, hello again. I'm Evie Mai. Still again, I'm a little bit awkward, but that's okay. These are new for me, and again, remember, I like to go with the freedom of curious exploration and the scientific method of life. So that makes it okay for not just anything, some things, because there is still um, the wait, what is it? I think it would be initiatory force, fraud, and coercion, and hurting people and doing all of those things. Maybe that wouldn't be okay. But within the context of growth and development and expansion and getting healthy and healing, um, learning new things, right? And then, of course, there is some other discretions that each and one of you guys can make your own decisions on. Those are not for me to touch, right? Your decisions are your decisions. Mine are mine. Okay, so now that we've got that set aside, I'm Evan Mai, and it's nice to be here with you. And I hope to get to know you guys a little bit more as time goes by. So I'm looking again here at the self-care and expansion stages of development, the walkthrough schedule for the week of January 11, 2025 to January 18, 2025. The main topic is surrendering to the occasion of change. And remember, that will be integrated into the subtopics. So today, I want to look at I-Ness Searching Saturdays or Soul Searching Saturdays, depending on the vocabulary that you use. And remember, again, I'm looking at creating an event, a walkthrough for Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning, and that would be on January 19th. I'm looking at doing it in the morning time. I will set up a time and then I will get the schedule out as probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon at the latest, or evening at the latest. So I-Ness Searching Saturdays, January 11, 2025. Again, I'm going to do each day, I'm going to do a video just kind of giving a brief description, and then I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to share a little bit of tools, possibly, just depends on what comes up. And then it will be for you to examine on your own, within your own introspection, and also around your exterior, your world around you and people around you. And then on Saturday, on the Zoom meeting, or on the walkthrough via Zoom, then we can have a discussion. So I-Ness Searching Saturdays, Soul Searching Saturdays. How do we find the polaric balance of the I-Ness, or the soul, within the process of surrendering to the occasion of change? I don't know how far any of you are on your journey. We're all in different places. And I know that my journey has been quite long. And along the way, there has been many tips of the scales. There's been many things that have just completely taken me for a whirlwind. Wow. I just had to take a breath sometimes, and just kind of catch my breath, because some things can be very challenging along this process of growth, along this process of development, along this process of exploration, of, I don't know, I just feel like it's common sense. But somewhere along the way, our teachers and our advisors and our mentors, if we even had any, decided not to teach to us. Some of us. Some of us did get a little bit more than others, and some of us got less. So definitely there's going to be changes. And regardless of whether we have that common sense or we had those teachings or we had those things, we're living in a really complicated dynamic right now. And things can seem a little bit confusing or a little bit weird, and they can tip those scales. Sometimes you can have moments of elation, of fulfillment, of happiness and joy and love and harmony and balance. And then other times, oh my gosh, chaos and confusion and things falling apart, and just those days, oh my gosh, how was your day? It was one of those days, let me tell you what. It was one of those days. And one of those days can be really hard. And we lose people along the way. We lose possessions along the way. We lose animals along the way. We lose a lot of things along the way. So sometimes we're going to get unbalanced. So how do we find that balance again within the center core of who we are? How do we find it? How do we establish that balance? And how do we find it? How do we find it? How do we establish it? And how do we keep it going even though maybe some storms will come? How do we keep up that moment? How do we keep that balance? How do we keep from just totally breaking down? And you know what? If we do break down, that's okay. It is okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. It's okay. Just breathe. So I'll just share some things from me. I've had some really hard moments. It's been quite the journey, I'll tell you. I've had some moments, and I've shared this before, maybe not on every platform that I'm on, but I've shared the storm analogy. And again, we're going to talk about the storm probably on Thursday, but it's going to come up quite often because we go through storms. We go through storms, and how are we going to navigate those storms? They're not easy. And sometimes it helps when other people can share their processes, can share their experiences. We are human, and we are social creatures. So it does help when we can connect with each other and we can hear each other's stories, and we can learn and grow from them too by sharing, by maybe connecting them with ours. So the storm, oh my gosh. So in Idaho, there's these beautiful storms in the summertime. In the summertime, it gets hot. And towards the evening time, when the storm rolls in, oh my gosh, I love it. The clouds come in, the thunder starts cracking, the thunder starts rumbling. Just use the right words here. And the lightning starts cracking, and there's transformers on the electrical poles. There's transformers, and they explode sometimes, and it's just so dramatic. I mean, it's Idaho. Idaho's a dramatic place, let me tell you what. And the people and the weather. Don't get mad at me, people from Idaho. I love you still. I love you. Anyways, then you get these big drops of water. And they're beautiful. They smell, oh my gosh, the rain smells so wonderful. So imagine you have this porch. You have a porch swing, and you just go sit on there, maybe for a little bit, because sometimes the lightning gets a little bit too close to home. So maybe you want to go inside for a minute, get away from the really hairy parts of the storm. Unless you like it, then that's your prerogative, right? Nobody's here to tell anyone what to do or not to do. But be safe. Anyways, so what about going inside? What about going inside the home, inside your house, where it's cozy, where it's comfortable, maybe it's a little bit warmer. Maybe crack a couple windows, get the air flowing, hear the storm a little bit better, smell the rain. Maybe turn on let's wait for the music, because maybe we want to hear the music of the storm. Maybe you want to light a fire in the fireplace if you have one, or the wood-burning stove, because I know there's a lot of those in Idaho too. You don't have to be in Idaho. You can be anywhere. You can be in Montana, Wyoming, anywhere. Light some candles. Get a nice cozy blanket, a book, some tea, coffee. Maybe you want some wine. Maybe you want to put on some nice soft music, relaxing music. Maybe you have some loved ones with you. Maybe you want to play some board games or some card games. Something. So, even though there's a storm going on all around on the outside, so think of the storm, maybe distractions, maybe there's different people with drama, maybe there's problems at work, maybe some issues business-wise, maybe there's some things at school, maybe there's things going on. There's always going to be something. This is life. And there's people around us. We're not alone. And not being alone sometimes can be a really good thing. Maybe there's a lot of support, there's a lot of love. And sometimes being not alone can be a very difficult thing, because maybe there's some drama, maybe there's some distraction, maybe there's some things going on that are less than desirable, right? So we're always going to be having storms. How do we find that balance within the storm? So the storm could be change. I just recently had a major change in my life. Major. It took 2 years to get to this point here from that major change. And that journey was not easy. It wasn't. But it was rewarding. Very rewarding. And being able to, I had ups and downs. I had a lot of changes. I had a lot of things going on. Completely my whole life was uprooted. Left everything behind. House, worldly possessions, people, community. Everything looks different. Everything is different now. And I stayed with it. I stayed by myself. And when I say by myself, I don't mean like I'm all alone. Even though I did have my time, alone. Because occasions of change do bring on being alone at times. And those times are important for our personal introspection and growth. So when I say by my side, I stood by my side. I was loyal to myself. I honored myself. I respected myself. I was there for myself. And I'm still there for myself. And I always will be. I can trust myself. And I have that kind of confidence in myself because I showed up time and time again. And I proved to myself that I could trust myself and be loyal to myself. And so that helped my self-esteem build up. It helped my self-love build up because I was there for myself. And I didn't turn my back on myself. Oh man, I might have got mad at myself. I might have got mad at myself or discouraged. You know, those things happen. As long as we don't stay there and keep beating up ourselves. But during that, and there's still more occasions of change, but during this occasions of change, how I was able to restore my balance, because if I did get out of balance, of course I'm going to get out of balance, especially with some of the things that occurred, and how difficult they were. Of course, there's going to be some imbalance. A wrench is going to get thrown in there. What happens when a wrench gets thrown in there? Man, that's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. So, I connected with the fire, had a fireplace, connected with the fire. I would go outside and meditate, pray, dance. The stars, connecting with the stars and the earth and the moon, and just connecting with nature, connecting with myself. By connecting with myself, I found myself. I found myself. And I found so much more than that. I found so much more than that. I found the creator source, the consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it what I called it in my own terms, but I'm just throwing some words out there for yourself because it's not about me telling you what to think, what to believe. I'm just sharing some tools here, okay? Connecting with family, connecting with friends, building my business, keeping my focus, moving forward step by step, moving forward. No matter the challenges that I faced, no matter the opposition that I faced, no matter the people around me that didn't understand, it doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about me. It's about my journey, and it's about you. It's about your journey. Okay, we're going to go on to the next point because we're already at 18 minutes for this video, and it's supposed to be brief because this is a daily thing, and I want you guys to be able to go into yourself and find what it is you're looking for, okay? And we'll have discussion on Saturday. Okay, so the next point is, how do we create rapid reversals of fortune? Through actions and knowledge gained through the integration of the shadow soul life energy. Wow. Where do I go with this stuff? My goodness. Okay. So, rapid reversals of fortune through actions. Well, there's the key. Where's one of the keys right there? Action. So during my process, I told you I've had a lot of opposition. A lot of people didn't understand. And like I said, it doesn't matter because it's not their journey, it's mine. So I kept moving forward. I connected with people. I connected with organizations. I was constantly moving, and I still am. Constantly moving, constantly connecting with networking, connecting with community, connecting with businesses, connecting with organizations, connecting with different things. I had a focal point. I want to build this. I'm building beyond your impossible. Beyond your impossible. Beyond your impossible. How do you go beyond your impossible? Well, one, you got to look into yourself. Because it doesn't matter whatever I want to create out here. It doesn't matter whatever the intentions that I have for the world around me. It doesn't matter. As long as inside I'm fighting with myself and I'm my own worst enemy. If I'm my own worst enemy because I'm hating on myself, because I'm not loving myself, because I'm not in alignment with myself or my subconscious or my internal self, because I'm not in alignment with my own internal morals, values, and standards that align with my conscience, if I'm not in alignment with any of that, I am my own worst enemy. So if you're going to ask me, what do I fear the most? I fear most being out of alignment with my subconscious, with my internal self. Because the internal self, the subconscious, has a funny way of behaving when we're not in alignment with our conscience. And it's going to punish us. So whatever we try to create out here, it's not going to work. It's going to backfire as long as we're not in alignment. So it's important to go into our shadow self. It's important to find those deep, dark places where our secrets hide and find them and connect with them and make peace with them. Remember, freedom of curious exploration and the scientific method of life allows for us to shed guilt, shame, and allow us to forgive ourselves for whatever it is that we need to forgive ourselves for. I know some things are harder than others. Believe me. Believe me. I have 2 sons that died. And the survivor's guilt and the parental guilt, wow, heavy. So walking through that journey of self-forgiveness so that I could create on the outside. Because otherwise I was just self-sabotaging. So once I made peace with those different aspects is when things in my life on the outside start clearing up. And those are when I continue, I have my focal point beyond your impossible. And beyond your impossible is ever expansive. I have so much freedom to create with that. So my focal point beyond your impossible, I've been building it for a long time. I've been looking at all the things that I want to include and integrate with it, and I've been pulling those in. And as time goes by and I keep making steps every day, making steps, more and more components start coming in, and the puzzle pieces start to snap together, and success starts coming, and just starts. Once the momentum starts going, then it becomes more rapid and more rapid as those times start going by. So how do we create rapid reversals? We go in to internal ourselves and we find those places where we're holding guilt, shame, and all of those things, where we're self-sabotaging, and we flip it. We forgive ourselves. That's how we find the rapid reversals of fortune. Through the internal action, So it says, how do we create rapid reversals of fortune? Through actions and knowledge gained through the integration of the shadow self. So going in and finding our shadow places, forgiving and integrating. Because here's the thing. It's not about getting the ego and killing it, okay? Because we are a person. We're talking about murdering ourselves. No. The internal components are what make up how we show up in the world. And how we show up in the world is our personification. So we're going to kill our personification. We're actually going to kill our entire being. We can't. We can't unless we die. And when my son died, I went into this deep, dark, abysmal depression where I actually just died. And I was just a shell of myself. And I had no identity. I was nothing. I was nobody. You can't exist that way. Because then your body starts to slowly die. And then it starts to, the immune system starts to kick in because it doesn't want to die. And it's called recapitulation. So you go through this recapitulation process. And I went through that recapitulation process to come back and become a person again. But I had to go through all of my shadow selves, all of my dynamics, and all of my lighter sides too. And I had to see, you know what? I'm not so bad. Maybe I've made mistakes along the way, but that is all that I knew in those times that I knew them. I couldn't have known anything different. I couldn't have done anything different. So can I forgive myself? And if I can forgive myself, does that mean I'm going to murder that part of me? If I've forgiven myself, I don't think I should die. So I integrate. Well, you know what? I had some times in my life where I was angry because that was the way I responded to what was happening around me and to my external. Because our external also has something to do with what's going on in our internal. As above, so below, as within, so without. So I was angry and I was aggressive. Should I hate myself for that? Should I hate that part of me and just kill it? No. What can I do? You know what? I'm no longer angry like that. Instead, that anger has turned into love. Okay, so I have this love here. But you know, that aggression, oh, that's the best part. I turn my aggression into assertiveness. So I do have a focal point, right? I have a place I want to sort of get to, because remember, beyond your impossible is ever expansive. It's going to continue to grow as time goes by. So if maybe I need some fire. Maybe I need some fire inside of me because to build a business and to do the things that I want to do in life, I can't be cold. I can't be passive. I can't be I can't be motionless. I need to have some fire. I need to have some passion. Well, that's my anger, right? So my anger, I've turned into fire, to passion, to spice, to bring color into my life, and to bring color to others who want to share in going beyond their impossible. If they want to go beyond their impossible, maybe they need help to transmutate their anger into fire, passion, spice, color, vibrance, life. Okay? Next, aggressive. Okay. Building a business, not so easy. Going out there and facing people, and there's some people, let's face it, they really want to be competitive. And we don't really need to be that. Seriously, there's healthy competition, and then there's just like, are you serious right now with that competition? So, assertiveness. Just the right amount of just the right amount of assertiveness can help us get done what needs to get done. So there's that. I think that's all I'm going to share right there. So yeah, how do we create rapid reversals of fortune through actions and the knowledge gained through the integration of the shadow, soul, life energy? I hope that whatever I shared here today can be helpful. If not, that's okay too. May you have a wonderful night and an excellent week coming. And may the soul shine. May the sun, soul is sun in Spanish. I'm multilingual, so sometimes I get a little mixed up. And that's okay. Remember, freedom of curious exploration in the scientific method of life. It's okay. It's okay to not always be perfect. It's okay. And in those imperfections is where we find perfection. So it's okay. It's doing those reversals. I hope that whatever, you can take whatever you need from this, and I hope to see you on Saturday when we get together for the in-person walkthrough via Zoom. Thank you very much, and have a good evening and a beautiful week.